Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am excited to pop on here live today, and I'm going to show you guys the latest technology we're working with and why I'm excited about this. So, over the last, or about 21 years ago, I joined a company called New Skin because they had something called a Biophotonic Scanner. And that was revolutionary, we thought, because it was a technology that was able to measure the protection that your cells had against free radical damage, right? And to see a little bit about your nutrition, like what you were eating and so on, was actually working. Now, the funny thing with that technology was that it took about an hour and 50 minutes to calibrate, and then 3 minutes to scan, and yeah, it was a bit of a mess. But we have expanded that technology into something called the Prysm IO, and I'm going to do a live scan today to show you a little bit. But I think that there a lot of us today, we want to have like peak performance. Some people talk about lifespan, how long you live. They talk about health span, how well you live during those years, right? And they talk about peak span. How can you extend that peak span and live like the best possible way you possibly can live and have the most vibrant health you can possibly have during certain times of the year. During many years. And that's I think what they mean by peak span is a little bit like it's how can you perform at 90% or above of what you've ever had. Like let's say 100% is your peak ever, and how can you be within kind of like 10% of that and stay there for as long as possible, right? And so I'm now I'm actually closer to 50 than I am to 40, right? But what I do love is I love still being able to play paddle a few times a week. I play on a basketball team. Most of the people there are way younger than me, and so on. But I still would like to have the pride of kind of being in really good shape there, and so on as well. And I know that there's several factors that come into it, and that's what we've seen as well in the latest study here is that this device, the measurements come with 4 different components. I'm going to discuss those later on. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to pop on here and just do a quick scan and show you guys how it works and why it's such a great motivational tool, and why I believe that this should be a standard biomarker for everybody in the world. Why everybody should just have this technology. Everybody should scan on a consistent basis, whether it's on a weekly basis or monthly basis, completely up to you. I scan a few times a week, but that's because I'm working with it, right? So anyway, the way it works is this. I'm just sitting here in my little patio here. All it is a device that looks like that, and we just turn it on, and I'm going to just connect it here. And what I'm going to do here is I've already calibrated it, but now I'm going to scan myself, okay? And all I do is so the tissue here, the cells here, they replicate every about 4 to 6 to 8 weeks or so, and I'm just going to place that on top of the scanner right here, okay? We're going to see here our live scan. There's actually really interesting. My score is actually down a little bit, and I'm going to talk about a little bit why that is, and so on, okay? And so let's see here where I scored today. Okay, 770, okay? Still pretty good. I'm still in the ideal zone, okay? I'm still where I want it should be. But what was really been interesting here is that we recently went on a big trip to Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And I've also been on malaria tablets, and we also got several of the different vaccines and things like that. I am wondering if those things have reduced my score a little bit. I also know when I was traveling, I was not 100% compliant on our supplements, and I probably did not eat as well as I do when I'm at home, right? And so I've already been able to see that now. That was about 3 weeks ago that we left or something like that, and already been able to see that, hey, I normally score kind of 800 to maybe 950 or something like that, and I'm down a little bit. Okay, not down a lot because there is a variance on the device and so on, right? But what is kind of cool is that it's motivated me now. So if we look at the results here, just so you guys can see this as well, there's 4 factors that come into it. I know this is in Spanish here, but I know all you guys habla español, sí? Castellano, muy bueno. And the number one thing there is obviously, are you eating the rainbow every single day, right? That's really important. The second thing is your lifestyle. People who smoke are lower scores. People who go to bed earlier have higher scores, so that's another one. My wife and I, we love going to bed. Like, we're pretty much telling our 13-year-old daughter, like, get to bed, because we want to go to bed. This has got nothing to do with her sleeping many hours. It's with us wanting to get to bed, right? And also, things like, not being on so much different medications, things like that. It's not something that has been clinically proven, but something that I have seen generally. Whenever I scan couples that eat exactly the same thing, and one of them are having all these health issues, they score sometimes very, very low. And it's like, why? And I ask them, oh, they're taking tons of medication, the other person's not. So I honestly have a belief that medication is not great for us at all, because it has a lot of bad side effects, even though, of course, a lot of us need medication for certain things, right? But are there ways for you to like improve your lifestyle in other ways to reduce that, Being in shape as well is a big one, right? And I think that's one of the biggest biomarkers for all of us. I don't know if it's a biomarker, but looking sexy in the mirror, right? All of us want to look sexy in the mirror. I think that's one of the big things that all of us look to do. And that's probably, for me, maybe the biggest motivational tool for most people is the mirror looking good, right? Some people like to look at the scale. For me, I'm actually, I think, obese when it comes to my body mass index, because I'm pretty athletic, right? I'm pretty skinny, but I'm pretty athletic. And therefore, my weight is quite high. And according to that, and I'm definitely not like obese, right? But anyway, those are very, very important things to measure, I think. But for me, this is the next best thing. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to motivate my kids, my family, all the people I work with, to see their stories and so on, to see their scores go up because they are starting to have better habits, right? And the last one here is supplementation, which is what we focus on, right? And what I do every single day is I make sure that I take something called Life Pack. It is a very, very comprehensive multivitamin, but what it really has is something called phytonutrients in there, okay? And that's what it's really, really well known for, and that's what I'm paying big bucks for, is to make sure that I get those phytonutrients, which are so helpful for so many things. And I also every single day take a collagen supplement. This one tastes amazing. It's an orange flavored one, but it also not only has the incredible collagen peptides that actually get absorbed in the body. I believe it's the peptide that has by far the most studies behind it of any peptides in the world. And it also has some incredible ceramides in there. The more I'm working now with many skincare professionals and wellness professionals, a lot of them talk about ceramides, how important that is. And then also it's got lutein from marigold extract, so an incredible protection of antioxidants to help to increase the score on the Prysm as well, right? So if you are on collagen, definitely get yourself scanned and get on our collagen for 3 months to see if your score goes up and so on, right? But anyway, one of the things I wanted to pop on here as well on the call today was just to discuss this. If you see the video right here, and you know any nutritionists, any skin clinic owners, any pharmacists, any personal trainers, any gym owners, anyone that works with wellness, opticians, there's a huge amount of opticians that have jumped on board lately. They see a massive correlation between eye health and the scores on here. Amazing results, amazing stories that I've heard from so many of them. So really exciting about that. But if you know anybody in any of these industries, I would love for you to share this video with them and to see if they could be interested in having this as part of their work, right? Because it validates what they're doing. It helps them to show their clients that it's actually working, and whether they are meeting people face to face or they're online, it can work both ways. I've sold many of these Prysms now to people that are across the world, in Australia, in the US, in Canada, all over the place, right? UK and so on. I haven't actually met them, but they obviously see the value from having a conversation of how important it can be for them in their life personally, but also for their business, right? And so if you do know somebody that could be really, really good for that, I'd be very, very thankful for you to share that with them. So anyway, that's it for now. If you'd like to see more studies or anything like that, or like to jump on our products, just get in touch. You know where to find me right here, right? Anyway, you guys have the best day. And go out there and be healthy, right? We all want wellness, peak performance, or at least health span, right? That's what we all want.